All right, so we are looking at quadratic functions, all right? A function in the form of f of x equals x squared, right? Whenever I see the x squared, you know you are dealing with a quadratic function. The graph of a quadratic function is called a parabola. As you can see, it's this U shape we have here, right? If our the coefficient of x squared is greater than zero, all right, then you have a minimum, all right, a minimum value. If the coefficient of x squared is less than zero, you have a maximum value, all right? These are our turning points. So today we're going to learn how to find the x and the y coordinate of the turning points. So if you use these formulas, x equals negative b over 2a and y equals 4ac minus b squared over 4a, you can be able to determine your x and y coordinates. So we have an example here. Right, of the function 6x squared minus x minus 15. They've asked us first of all, find will this function have a minimum or a maximum value? So we start with our solutions here. Right, so for number one, all right, so our a in this function is 6. 6 is greater than 0, all right? So meaning we're going to have a minimum value. Remember, if a is greater than 0, our parabola will be facing the upward direction like a smile, all right? So we'll have a minimum value as our turning point. So we've answered the first part of the question, all right? Will this function have a minimum or maximum value? It will have a minimum value. All right, now let's find the x and y coordinates of this this function. All right, so we said a equals 6. A is the coefficient of x squared. B equals negative 1, the coefficient of x. And C equals negative 15. So let's find our x coordinate. I'm going to say x equals, go to our formula here, negative b over 2a. So b is negative 1, so we have negative 1 as our numerator over 2 times 6. Negative and negative make positive, so we have positive 1 over 12. That is our x coordinate, all right? If we want, we can convert it into a decimal. If we want, we can leave it as a fraction. It doesn't really matter, right? Then our y coordinate, right? There are two ways you can also find your y coordinate. You can substitute this value of x into the original function, all right? You can put this value in the original function and you'll be able to get your y value, or you can just use the formula, okay, which is y equals 4ac minus b squared divided by 4a. So we're going to say this would be 4 times 1 times negative 15 4 times 1 times negative 15 minus our b squared minus negative 1 squared negative 1 squared divided by 4, 4 times 6. So that's 6 here, 4 times 6. All right, so 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative 15, that is negative 60. So negative 60, right? Once negative 1 squared is 1, so negative 60 minus 1 divided by 4 times 6, that is 24. Negative 60 minus 1, we get negative 61 divided by 24. We can make this into a mixed number. All right, so we say, what is 24 divided by 60? Let me get the calculator. 61 divided by 24, that is, so we have 2 here. What is our remainder? So 61 minus 48, 213 over 24. So the coordinates of this minimum value here, which we're talking about, all right, which is the turning point, is our x value is 1 over 12. Our y value is 213 over 24. All right, so that's how we find the turning points of a quadratic function.